soldiers?
Actually, back in 2011, when I first got into the position of the executive director, one of the first things I learned that we have over 4,000 what we call UOCAVA voters, military and overseas voters, and in 2010 we only had under 100 voting. So we initiated conversation with National Guard, and we started something actually in the primary election where some of the guardsmen were afforded the opportunity to vote, but they were invited. And then now we're here. When we heard that there was deployment, we contacted very indirectly, or very unofficially, the National Guard, and found out there was this situation. So we're here. We want, the Guam Election Commission is all about getting the best election possible, the fair and honest election, and getting the voter turnout up and registration numbers up. So we're obligated by the federal, we have a federal mandate to make sure to extend the right to vote as much as possible to our military voters.
Okay. Talk a little bit louder. Next question.
Okay.
So, how many voters are registered? How many of the soldiers are registered? And if they're not registered, what's the opportunity for them to vote?
We received a list of over 600 guardsmen and women, and of the 600, over 350 are registered. So we can register the guardsmen who are not registered to vote on the spot if they provide us with a passport or a birth certificate and a valid ID. So we can register them here. It should take about 3 to 5 minutes for them to fill out the form, and about a minute for us to validate it. And then with the guardsmen that are already registered, they will fill out an application for absent voting, and that would take about a couple minutes too. And we should be able to give them the long, almost long-winded instructions. On the ballot this year, we have 9 things on the ballot. We have the congressional delegate to Washington, we have the senators, we have a mayor and vice mayor, if that's applicable, because some of our mayors and vice mayors have already been elected. Then we have the presidential team. It doesn't count, but it's a poll that we're obligated to have. Then we have the nonpartisan ballot. That was the partisan ballot. In the nonpartisan ballot, we have 2 judicial retention questions. Then we have the Guam Education Board. We have the public auditor. We have the Consolidated Commission on Utilities. And finally, we have Proposal A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.